Have you ever felt that, in our incredibly fast-paced, often overwhelming modern world, the most profound insights, maybe the ones for finding real peace and connection, might actually come from ancient wisdom?
It does feel that way sometimes,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Like the answers aren't always new, but maybe just forgotten.
Exactly. And that's our mission today. We're diving deep into Psalm 65. It's this text from the Bible, ancient, of course, but it speaks with incredible clarity about things like thanksgiving, praise, and God's unwavering provision.
hmm
And this isn't just, an academic look at old scripture. It's really about pulling out those vital nuggets of knowledge.
Yeah, the practical stuff.
Right. The insights that offer a direct path to strengthening your trust and relationship with God right now, hopefully transforming how you navigate everyday life.
Sounds like a good plan. Where do we start with Psalm 65?
Okay, let's unpack this. So Psalm 65, it's attributed to King David, and it kind of stands out because unlike a lot of psalms that wrestle with struggle or doubt,
Yeah, many do.
this one is pretty much pure, joyful reflection. It paints this really vibrant picture of God's boundless grace, his readiness to forgive, and his constant provision for all of creation.
It's truly remarkable how holistic it is, isn't it? Right from the start. It immediately sets the stage for like a deep relationship.
Oh, so?
Well, think about how most of us approach prayer, often with a list of needs.
Yeah, they ask.
But Psalm 65 subtly flips that. It opens by showing God as both the hearer of prayer and the forgiver of sin. It links those two profound actions instantly.
Okay.
The text says, O thou that hearest prayer, unto thee shall all flesh come. And then, almost in the same breath, as for our transgressions, thou shalt purge them away.
So right together.
Exactly. And the real insight here, I think, is that it positions forgiveness, this purging away of our transgressions, not just as some, spiritual transaction off to the side, but as the foundational prerequisite for any lasting joy or genuine connection with God. It's basically saying you can't truly appreciate the blessings until you've dealt with the deepest unrest within.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just about getting what you want, but about clearing the path to even receive the good stuff, starting with that inner peace. That's a powerful thought.
It really is.
And from that foundation of forgiveness, where does the psalmist take us next?
Well, from that deeply personal experience, forgiveness, knowing your prayers are heard, the psalm then sort of zooms out. It expands its vision to the profound blessing of God's very presence.
His presence.
Yeah, it describes the sheer joy of dwelling in God's courts, being satisfied with the goodness of thy house, even of thy holy temple. And this isn't just about a physical building.
No, it feels bigger than that.
It's about that profound spiritual contentment, that deep satisfaction that comes from a genuine, close relationship with the divine. It's like the ultimate sense of belonging.
A profound sense of belonging. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And then it shifts, doesn't it, to something much, much larger, the scale of God's power.
Absolutely. Huge shift. The focus expands dramatically to God's majestic, almost cosmic power over creation itself.
Okay.
The psalmist highlights God's strength in setting fast the mountains. Anchoring those immense, seemingly immovable structures.
Right. Immense power.
And then this really evocative image, stilling the noise of the seas, the noise of their waves, and the tumult of the people.
Both nature and human chaos.
Exactly. Think about the chaos of a storm at sea, or the unrest and, tumult of humanity. This passage implies that the same power that calms the literal ocean can bring order to human turmoil, too.
That's quite a statement.
It is. And this sheer overarching power evokes awe, even in them that dwell in the uttermost parts. It shows a God who isn't just local, but a cosmic force orchestrating everything.
That's a breathtaking image of control and order.
Oh.
So after establishing this, immense power, how does the psalm bring it back down, back to our everyday experience?
It's beautiful how it transitions, actually. From the vastness of mountains and seas, the focus gently, almost intimately, shifts to God's incredibly detailed, loving care for our daily lives, specifically through nature.
Okay, like how?
It details God's abundant provision. It paints this picture of deliberate, ongoing involvement. You see how God visiteth the earth and watereth it, enriching it with the river of God and preparing them corn.
So it's not just random rain, it's described as a visit.
Precisely. It's the divine presence actively visiting and nurturing the land. And when the psalmist talks about God crowning the year with thy goodness,
Yeah, I love that phrase.
and how thy paths drop fatness, it's more than just pretty poetry. Imagine being an ancient farmer. Your deepest hope is fulfilled in this image.
How so?
It's like even the unseen tracks of God's activity in the world leave behind this trail of rich, fertile abundance, so potent that even the little hills rejoice. It's a vivid, almost tactile image of overflowing, effortless provision that just permeates everything. It makes the pastures are clothed with flocks. It's a living testament to constant, deliberate, divine care.
Wow, that imagery of God's paths dropping fatness, that's such a profound and, like you said, tangible way to describe his continuous generosity.
It really is.
It's truly striking here, for me anyway, is how seamlessly Psalm 65 integrates the spiritual and the material blessings. It wasn't just abstract faith or, just getting daily bread.
No, not at all.
It was all intertwined, like a single tapestry of God's involvement.
And it's crucial to grasp this. For ancient Israel, God wasn't compartmentalized. He wasn't just a judge for your sins on, say, the Day of Atonement, and then a separate provider for your harvest.
Okay. The roles were integrated.
Totally integrated. Forgiveness wasn't just some spiritual checkbox. It was the fertile ground.
Yeah.
If you weren't right with God, if that peace wasn't established through forgiveness, then even the most abundant rain might feel like a burden. Or maybe you couldn't fully appreciate it as a blessing. They saw it all as one seamless, active involvement by God.
So peace with God through his mercy and cleansing sin was essential before other prosperity could even be truly appreciated or received.
That's how they saw it. Being in right relationship was the prerequisite for genuinely experiencing and enjoying all his other blessings. It puts a different spin on things, doesn't it?
It really does. Changes how you might think about prayer or even just daily life.
Exactly. And this ancient wisdom also taught them to see nature not just as like a functional backdrop or some random process, as a vivid, intentional sign of divine care. Rain, rivers, abundant harvests, these were seen as direct acts of God's kindness and attention, proof of his ongoing commitment to their well-being.
So seeing God in the natural world actively.
Actively. And this perspective meant that praise wasn't optional. It was deeply ingrained, both a duty and a delight. That line, praise waiteth for thee, O God, in Zion, reflects this. Gratitude is both a natural response to God's generosity and a profound responsibility of faith.
That shifts gratitude from just a feeling to something more active, essential. Okay, so this ancient wisdom, this integrated understanding of God, judge, provider, source of peace, source of abundance. What does it mean for us today? How can it genuinely deepen our trust, our relationship with God right now?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, Psalm 65 offers some truly powerful applications for modern life.
Right.
I can think of a few key ones.
Great, let's hear them.
First, it encourages us, maybe challenges us, to start with gratitude, not just requests. So many of us come to prayer with that shopping list of problems.
Guilty as charged sometimes.
Oh, right. This psalm invites you to consciously begin by thanking God for forgiveness, for life itself, for your daily needs, whatever they are. This practice, over time, it reorients your perspective, it builds resilience, and it strengthens your trust because it reminds you of what you already have.
That's a great practical reframe. Shifting focus from deficit to abundance right at the start of prayer. I like that.
Exactly. Second, it really challenges us to reconnect the spiritual and the everyday. We tend to compartmentalize, don't we?
Oh, definitely. God on Sundays, work on Mondays.
Yeah. But David, the psalmist here, saw his soul, his faith, as deeply intertwined with the very crops in the field, the rain that nourished them. This psalm reminds you that faith isn't just a separate box.
It's meant to permeate everything.
It is, from the food on your table to the rhythm of the seasons. Recognizing that connection can really deepen your relationship as you start seeing God's hand in everything, not just the big moments.
That's a vital reminder in our, segmented lives. Okay, and what about that line you mentioned, thou preparest them corn? How does that speak to our modern, often hustle-driven world?
Ah, that's a good one for the hustle culture.
Yeah.
Thou preparest them corn. It illustrates that God often works ahead of us.
Ahead of us.
Yeah, preparing the ground, sending the rain, ensuring the conditions for growth before we even sow the seed. It's a grounding reminder that you're not alone in your labor. God's grace often comes before our effort. Trusting in that proactive care can significantly lessen anxiety, and strengthen your reliance on Him, knowing you're not solely responsible for every single outcome.
That's incredibly comforting. It suggests we can still be diligent, work hard.
Absolutely.
But without carrying the crushing weight of it all alone.
Precisely. And related to that, we also learn to honor the seasons of life. Thou crownest the year with thy goodness. That reminds us life has cycles. rhythms, just like the agricultural year.
Ups and downs, planting and harvest.
Exactly. And each season can reflect God's care. Think about planting seeds in winter. The ground's cold, nothing seems to be happening.
Right, feels barren.
But you trust a harvest is coming. So even when things in your life feel dry or slow or challenging, this psalm encourages trust that another season is being prepared. It fosters patience and a deeper trust in God's timing and process.
Trusting the process even when you can't see the results yet. That's huge. And finally, you mentioned seeing the world as a gift, not just a resource. That feels particularly relevant today.
It absolutely does. Psalm 65 promotes seeing the world as a gift, not just something to be exploited or used up.
How?
The psalmist sees beauty and divine generosity in the land itself. Today, in a world often driven by overconsumption, this offers a gentle nudge towards reverence for creation, mindful stewardship.
So appreciating it more.
Yes. By appreciating the world as a gift, from the food on your plate to the air you breathe, you cultivate a deeper relationship built on wonder, humility, and profound thankfulness. It counters that feeling of just taking everything for granted.
That's a beautiful way to look at it. A relationship built on wonder and thankfulness. So as we close out this deep dive, maybe just take a moment, pause, and recognize that every answered prayer, every meal you eat, every peaceful moment, the very air you breathe, think about it as a gift.
Yeah.
God isn't just present in the big dramatic events. He's intimately involved, as this song suggests, in the soil, the rain, and that quiet forgiveness that makes joy even possible.
All connected.
It is.
Over.
And when you see life through this lens with wonder, humility, and profound thankfulness, you start to live in deeper alignment with both ancient truth and present grace. Remember that powerful line from Psalm 65.
Thou crownest the year with thy goodness, and thy paths drop fatness.
Yes, it's like an invitation to see abundance and grace literally overflowing everywhere, a constant reminder of God's care. So the question for you listening is this: how will you apply this information in your life?